Earlier this year, I was mainly focused on tokens that have to do with RWA, real world assets, which is when we talked about TokenFi, and since then I looked at most of the projects in that category. Some of the coins are in the top 100 on CoinMarketCap, like Ondo, Mantra, and so on and so forth, and I wanted to talk about the only one that has been going up consistently over the past week. You can see almost everything is down, maybe up by like 5 to 10% maximum, but there's one called CHEX or Chintai, which is up by 46%. So I looked into it. It is also up by 80% this month and then 2,800% since last year. Now you might think, well, maybe it's a token that launched recently, maybe there's just some hype around that. They launched their tokens 3.5 years ago, and the project has been around since 2018. So they had 2 bear markets, 1 bull market, and this is now their second bull run, in which the current price is still a 3x from the last all-time high back at the end of 2021. Now at their core, they are a platform as a one-stop licensed, regulated, compliant, permissioned layer 1 blockchain for real-world asset tokenization, issuance, and trading. That's a lot of words. What does any of that mean? The man behind BlackRock, the ones that own pretty much everything, says that by 2030, trillions of dollars are going to flood into the tokenization market, says that it's going to be 100 times bigger than Bitcoin, which then gets you thinking, well, if one of the richest guys in the world says this is probably good, maybe we should look into that as well. Tokenization simply means that you take the ownership rights of something in real life and make it digital. Let's say you own land or a house and you have the title for it, which is mostly just a physical piece of paper and some data in a computer. You could tokenize that, have it stored on the blockchain, and then use it, which makes everything we do normally in real life tokenized and crypto based. Now in most cases the upside is it's faster, more secure, more reliable, and you actually own what you own. And just like you can have art or concert tickets, like NFTs, virtually, that can happen for most things. And in most cases, just like the internet 30 years ago, they're like early adopters and a couple companies that work on that, then nothing happens for a while where everything gets developed, and then eventually price goes up. While I personally hold a lot of Mantra, I've been looking more and more into other things in the RWA sector that actually have a use case and have been around for a while. And here's the thing. All the tokens have been sold, so 100% are unlocked. They use 5% of all the revenue that they generate in order to burn the circulating supply. So this one is deflationary by nature. And with them being regulated and licensed by the monetary authorities of Singapore, with 2 licenses mentioned there, for both issuance as well as trading of tokenized assets, but also securities, they not just comply with all the regulations that are needed, but they also positioned themselves years ago for something that is going to be huge over the next decade. Now CHEX is the utility token that powers all transactions, with everything running on there. Holders can stake the token for yield from fees collected by Chintai during their issuance of RWAs, ongoing trading and account maintenance, and 10% of the fees that they earn go towards yield for CHEX stakers. They had their first buyback for $500,000 earlier this year. And if we compare this to something like Ondo, for example, which is also in the RWA business, we can see 2 major things. First of all the tokens are in supply. While Ondo still has like 8.6 billion tokens that are yet to be unlocked, Chintai has a real use case, while Ondo kind of just sits there as an idea. And with all the tokens that are still being locked for Ondo, a lot of them are going to be released in 2025 and unlocked for people. And whenever a lot of tokens unlock for any project ever, the majority of people dump them and dilute the market more and more. And because we know that, because it's all on-chain data, we can position ourselves in something that doesn't face those issues. As a side note real quick, the team behind it is also fully doxed, so you can see who is working on this. They have all their partners listed over here. And you might say, when it comes to the partners and the project overall, you haven't heard about that. Like simply based on people that I follow following them, there's barely anyone. If we compare to anything, let's say gaming related, there are like 40 people that I follow that follow them. And that is a good sign, because when most things that are crypto based do something like that, where they peak eventually and then they die down because it's all based on hype, the projects that are here for the long run, they have a slow but then exponential growth and are more traditionally finance based. Something that has a real use case that is not just funny meme or haha funny game I can play it. And just as they say, slow and steady wins the race. So when they talk about jurisdictional licensing and the different authorities that they worked with, that is insanely important for the real world. While we mostly stick in crypto where everything is kind of like a gray zone, once Web 2 and Web 3 merges and the real world becomes more blockchain based, that is important. Most projects don't have that. They also estimate between 150 and 300 million in total assets issued on chain by the end of this year and 2 billion by the end of the first quarter in 2025. So in other words, in the next 5 months, there will be $2 billion in total assets issued, which was also talked about in the latest AMA event, which you can check out over here. I will have it linked down below. Now, most of the clients are listed over here. Some of them aren't yet. Feel free to click on all of these one by one. But there are approximately 3 dozen undisclosed clients with signed NDAs in place, including an unnamed $90 billion stealth entity in the UAE, issuing a pilot oil bond valued between 150 and 350 million with recurring issuances and more behind it. As they've been working and collaborated with some of the world's largest financial institutions over the past 6 years, they've also been transparent with everything that they've been doing and working on, which now over time reflects in the price. What I always like to think when it comes to current price and market cap of something in crypto compared to the quality that they deliver and what it's actually worth, the correlation isn't really there for years and years on end. For example, due to hype earlier in April, the price was at 37 cents. Since then, they had 6 more months of building and the price is lower than before. And with them having several clients that are each looking to do $1 billion plus issuances within the next year, this right now is positioned to be something that probably goes to similar heights market cap wise than Ondo, if not beyond. When it comes to my personal portfolio, which I will draw you in this crooked circle, I have roughly a third or so in Bitcoin, a quarter or so in notes for the passive income stuff, and then the rest in RWAs as well as deepening games. Now, my investment process is not, let's see something that is hyped and then sell it, because that doesn't always work. Most of the times you lose money. I think over a 10-year time frame, 99.8% of all traders lose money. So it would be ignorant for me to think that I can out-trade the market. And I can tell you from my experience with last bull run, it doesn't work. So instead, I buy anything that has the potential to simply grow over time so you can win in the long run. Let's say you buy something that doubles by tomorrow. What do you do with the money? You buy the next thing that hopefully doubles, right? But the chance is always higher that it goes down. If we look at things long term, if we simply do nothing at all and just hold it based on the fundamentals, the team behind it, the partners and their use case, the chance of making some money is going up. So if you were to consider getting into the project or buying some tokens, just so you know, my personal investment strategy for this is to buy it, stake it, do nothing at all for a very long time. For the token, it can be bought on Uniswap, as well as Radium or Pancake, depending on what you use for decentralized exchanges. It's based on ETH, but also the Binance Smart Chain. They have a token on Solana, and then also on EOS over here. Or to make it easier, if you sign up to MaxC, for example, you can simply buy it there. And I will show you both ways on how to get the token if you feel like it. Let's say you want to buy it on ETH on Uniswap. You copy the token address, go over here, click on Select Token, paste it in there. Wait like 2 seconds and it will then show up. In this case, you will see 2 of them, as both the token based on ETH as well as on the Binance Smart Chain is available on Uniswap. So if you want to save some gas fees, go with the one on the Binance Smart Chain. Otherwise, if you have ETH, go with that. It will always give you this warning no matter what token you insert. So simply click on understand and then you can get anything you like. Might need to adjust the slippage up here, but that will be about it. Option 2, let's say you're on MaxC, you simply log into your account, type in CHEX, and then you can buy the token over here with however much USDT you want. In case you can't do any of that and you can't sign up to different exchanges, type in rns.id. I also have it linked in the description down below, which gives you a Palau ID. And that ID can be used mostly for KYC on pretty much every exchange. So if you wanted to sign up to, let's say, Gate, MaxC, Bitfinex, and it didn't work because of your country, your passport, whatever, this works for that. So again, to sum it up, real world assets based on the richest people in the world are going to be not just a thing, but the thing that crypto is mostly going to be used for over the next 5 to 10 years. And with their token being fully unlocked, deflationary as they buy it back, and then also giving you additional profit due to their revenue distribution, this is something that I would consider looking into more if you want to be exposed to the actual financial and quality side of crypto and not just funny meme coin that has no use case. As a comparison, Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu with this website behind it, which looks absolutely amazing, that is at 280 million in market cap, and something that has a real use case that has been around for 6 years and complies with authorities is at 240 mil. So you can tell the quality doesn't reflect in the price yet. It's pretty pointless to give you an actual price prediction on how high this can go. What I would say is that is almost guaranteed. If we compare to other coins in the category, it can probably go to 2 billion and beyond. So something like a 7x or more. But then if I tell you it can do a 100x, it can do a 500x, it doesn't help you because I don't know. It's going to be at a price in the future that is probably higher than right now. I again only invest in things that I want to hold long term. And funny internet man Alex Becker always talks about that you invest into the team and the quality behind it, which so far turned out well for anything that he invested into. But you know, not financial advice. They got some of the best tokenomics in all of crypto. Every company that is going to use that tech is effectively using their token. And based on the clients and how much they want to tokenize and have value locked in here, it would be second highest by next year, just behind Ethereum. But then again, it's expected to have, it didn't happen yet. And I'm also just one person on this screen that shows you something in crypto. You gotta make your own decision and see if this will make sense. For me personally, it does. So I will swap some of the mantra that I hold into CHEX later on today, just to be still exposed to the exact same category of RWA without being overexposed to just one thing. Because you can put all your eggs in baskets, but what if you drop the basket? Then your eggs break. Is that philosophical? It might be. Links down below, not financial advice, and I see you fairly soon. Take care.